Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Nikola, ticker symbol NKLA. And so here I am looking at the daily chart on the evening of Monday, August 19th, after the market has closed, and Nikola closed at a price of 737, being down almost 9.5% on the day. And so, yeah, I wanted to go over the chart because it has been a while since I last went over it, which was on reverse split day when there was a 1 for 30 reverse split on June 25th. That is when I drew these levels up. I haven't adjusted any of them. I did clean it up a little bit. I did want to add a couple more levels in this video, but I also wanted to go over, some of the levels I had previously drawn and evaluate how they have played out. So in that last video, after the reverse split, I drew up these levels, including this Fibonacci retracement, going from the low, the adjusted low, hit on January 18th at a price of 17.48, and then the high of 34.50 hit on April 1st. And from that retracement, we can see that 100% retracement at 1748 did break through that, and we have come down to the 1618 at a price of $6.96, having hit a low on August 5th of 702. And so that was the day when the market gapped down over the weekend. And so if I actually do flip over to the 1 hour time frame, we can actually see that during the pre-market on the 5th, we saw price come down to a low of $6.80. So wicking down below 696, but then getting above it before the market opened, as we do see the low here at 702. So I find that pretty interesting that, we have come down to that level. I do think it is pretty discouraging because we have been hanging around that level. Looks like we had an approximate test of that level around the beginning of July, hitting a low on the 1st of July at a price of 735 and then 725 on the 2nd of July, coming up a little bit from there and then retesting that level. And now it looks like we hit a low on the 19th of $7.20, getting pretty close to that level. And so that does have me a little bit concerned that we are just kind of bouncing here eventually, just like a bouncing ball, repeatedly bouncing until those bounces die down and then it falls through the floor. So I do think price could be going lower. I will go over that in a minute, but I did just want to evaluate some of these other levels. So one to the upside is this gap at 1443. That was the prior to this reverse split adjusted closing price of 1443, and then I also have this red line here marked at 1563. If I take a step back, we can see that was the low hit on June 6th of 2023 before we got this big move up. Looks like, the measurement from the bottom to the top there, over 600% swing to the upside. So a pretty massive move there. And so we have done a full retracement coming back down to that level, breaking below 1563. But I did want to point that out because this prior low of 1748, then this red line at, 1560 and then 1440 right around there. Seems like there are a lot of levels that were prior support. As you can see, we got this bounce from that level here before the move up. These prior levels of support, this gap down level, needing to get back up there. A lot of buyers up here might be sellers now at those prices at break even. So it seems like there is a lot of resistance to the upside. And it also, I didn't adjust this channel, but we are still trading in the red portion of that. And I do have this downtrend based on these pivot points, kind of just being approximate based on the low from September 8th of last year of 2023. And then also this low from December 11th. So did retest that. And, we're still above that level. So maybe price could be coming down to it, but that would be getting down to a price of like sub $3 a share. So, I think that that's a little extreme right now. Are there any other levels that we could look to that might be acting as support? And so one thing is just connecting this low from February 5th to the pivot high following that gap down, that high being at a price of 1278 hit on June 20th. From that, we did get a bounce here, so I could have connected the line here before moving up higher here and then breaking to that level, testing it as resistance now. And this has me thinking that we might be forming a descending triangle. And unfortunately, that is a bearish pattern. That is when the resistance is in closing, pushing the highs lower. But then there is a level of support that is just repeatedly tested over and over and over until it eventually weakens and breaks down. And so the descending triangle pattern is here from Investopedia, and we can see that we do have this level of support that is repeatedly tested, this descending level of resistance pushing that price down, and then eventually this level that's retested over and over eventually breaks. And so I have a little bit of a concern that we are seeing that with this downtrend, that we might be breaking lower because 7 or approximately 7 is being retested, the base of that descending triangle. And so, I have a hard time really thinking of levels that could be acting as support. There are a couple things that I can draw up here. One is going to be a ray from the low of July 2nd, connecting that to the low of August 5th. We can see that, maybe that is going to be just a little bit below 696, maybe coming down to, let's see, 685, approximately there. So maybe that is going to serve as a level of support, but really that just seems to be pretty similar to this level that has been retested. So that doesn't seem too convincing to me. Another thing that I can do is another Fibonacci retracement, since we got a move here from a low up to this high before pulling back. Maybe we can see what the Fibonacci retracement will tell us looking at the 1618, as that was a good predictor here of price coming down to around $7 a share. And so if I do that retracement from that low of 725 up to this high here of 1194, we can then see 725 currently trading above it, so that is potentially good. I would not like to see closes below 725, but if we do, absolutely do not want to see closes below 702. If we do see a close below 702, I think it could be testing this 1618 level, and that is, believe it or not, going to be at a price of 435. And while I don't necessarily think price is going to go to that level, I think that a lot of caution should be exercised when trading Nikola at this point. It is quite possible that since it has been testing this level, maybe it bounces, maybe it breaks out from this descending triangle. Can happen, seen it happen before, but if it does, it's going to be experiencing a lot of levels of resistance to the upside, like 1194, 1443, 1563, and 1748. So if it does break out, I would look to trim at those levels, lower the risk. If it does close below 702, I would look out below for 435, unfortunately. Never fun to go over charts when it does look like they are breaking down. I could be proven wrong. This could be breaking out, but I do think it will find one of these levels as resistance, and then ultimately I think it will be going below $7 a share. So please do trade with caution. But those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching, and take care. Good luck with this one.